This is KCSC Radio interviewing Charlie Moses and Mersky, and we are interviewing you on your new EP and your new album, Figurine. So I would like to know, why do you do what you do?
You're gonna go first. Yeah, I feel like I kind of have to make music. It's like a nervous tick almost. Like if I'm not doing it, like something really devastating will happen. I'll just shut down.
Yeah, you're passionate about it.
Yeah, it's
That
just
makes
always been a thing.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And what about you?
I've always played music and spent a lot of years playing with other people's groups, so I guess more recently I decided to focus a bit more on my own stuff and kind of develop that a bit for the first time.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Hey. So you both are from Portland, Oregon. How did you guys meet there and begin your collaboration?
Yeah, so I was, we met through some mutual friends, and we went on a little day trip out to some hot springs, so that was cool.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Hot springs all the time.
Yeah. We didn't really talk much then though, but he came to a show I was playing at the cafe I owned at the time.
Oh, heck yeah.
And and I was so surprised that he wanted to stop by and see me do a little acoustic set.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And from there, you guys because I noticed that you mastered her album, so how do you guys work together with, collaborating with each other's music?
Well, we went out and got burgers one night because our friends kind of gave up and went home. So we were stuck together, and then we got burgers and started hanging out, and then, maybe 6 months down the road, started working on music together, and I operate a recording studio in Portland for a living, and so it was kind of natural that we'd end up in the studio together at some point. And I guess what did we start with? We started with
We did
Oni, an Electric Prunes cover from the 60s.
Yeah, I was going to ask, why did you choose that song? What brought, emotions out to you for it?
Yeah, well, that was something weird. I was listening to that album in my cafe, constantly. I found it, a friend brought it in. I was like, what is this? And so I was listening to it, on repeat for days. And then I got super stuck on that song, Oni, so we decided to do it.
I see you guys work together a lot. What do you think you highlight, with each other's music? What characteristics in your own musical ability do you think you bring out in each other?
Well, I think that Charlie has a real natural inclination towards jazz harmony and stuff, and some of it is kind of undiscovered, so I feel like I've been a force in bringing some more of that out. And then she's got all the chops with violin and singing, lyrics, all the good stuff. And I kind of like to produce and work on building songs with people and form and chord structures and stuff like that. So
yeah, Evan's
a cool duo.
Genius producer when it comes to finding what needs to be filled where, or what kind of orchestration would work better in different parts of songs. He just knows it.
I know, we were listening to it. You heard us before we came in, and I love the little synths that you added in. Oh, so good with what was it, the saxophone? Or one moment.
Oh, that was, that I threw in. I wanted my buddy Andy, who plays sax and bass clarinet, to do solos on 2 of my songs.
Oh, heck yeah.
So I got a hold of him. That's Andy Rayborn.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he goes
I love
under.
That.
He's incredible. He goes under. His project's called Paper Gates.
Ooh, I have to check that out.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
Paper Gates.
Yeah.
Hip hop, bass clarinet, pop.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I know, so experimental.
Yeah.
So what is the overall theme that you wanted to shed light on your EP, Mersky?
I think that a lot of it was written during kind of a tough time in my life about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and just kind of came out of me. I think the most important thing for me in that was just kind of establishing the sort of exercising the muscle of writing music and getting something down on paper, because it was the first time I really did that. So, lyrics and putting together a complete song with verses and choruses, although there's not really a single chorus on the entire EP, but
Yeah.
maybe next one I'll get
And
a
what
chorus.
about you, your overall theme for figurine?
Yeah, I think that like I have so many different interests as far as music goes, and I kind of just wanted to combine them all into one album and have like an interdisciplinary sounding record where I got to have a track that sounded like an indie song and a track that sounded like a bossa nova song and a track that sounded like a jazz song. I've been writing music since I was, I don't know, maybe like 6 or 7 or something.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so
it's always been part of your life.
totally. Yeah, it was nice to like to get to work with him and do like a fully produced record and co-produce it together, and then just get to display like all of these different facets of songwriting.
Yeah, because you guys brought out and highlighted like each other's, what you said, like the confidence and the soul and a little bit of this and a little bit of that, which we were listening to. We all really dug. Like, it's awesome. But what role as an artist do you think you have in society? Like, with your music, what do you want to change? Do you want to change anything, or do you want to get your voice out there to maybe change someone's day?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like with anything you create, there's always a deep impact taking place. And I always think about like how once you've put something out into the world, it's not really yours anymore. And as much intention as you want to have with what it is that you're making, and like specifically, like if I was to really specifically be like, I want my music to influence gender fluidity with like an upcoming generation, and I put that out there, it's not going to be interpreted like, it'll be interpreted in whatever way people want to interpret it. You know?
I do get that, because everyone has their own perspective, so you could read something and it could be totally like seen as something else by somebody else who is a product of their own environment.
Right. Yeah, so I feel like as long as it's connecting with somebody in some way, then it gets to be their own story or their own interpretation, and no interpretation is right. Yeah, I always get a little like irked when people are really trying to translate lyrics like
or
word by
analyze
word.
it, how depthful it is, or what it actually means.
Yeah,
They can mean something different for everybody who listens to it.
totally.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so how do you guys work? I know, like, as I write songs as well, sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night and be like, this is the best line ever. So what do you guys do with your, like, process of writing music?
I think for me it usually starts with kind of humming a tune when I'm driving around alone.
Yeah.
And when I get home, like, as soon as I can pick up a guitar, just trying to figure out what that melody was, what that tune was. And then just hitting record on the 4-track or the 8-track and trying it 200 times until I get the take I'm happy with.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
What would you give any tips or tricks to people who are trying to get their music out more, or collaborate and experiment like you guys did? Because it was a beautiful, both of them, your EP and Figurine, they were both very beautiful to listen to.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I feel like not viewing your abilities as any kind of limit. I think that it can get really frustrating when you feel limited within your own abilities to try and do something or try and exemplify whatever it is that you're trying to say or sing or write. And being really open to collaborating with people or working with people. I feel like that's, for me, that's one of my favorite things, is just to like,
Trying something new, getting out of that box.
yeah, like saying yes to people. They're like, hey, you want to write a song together? And it's like, yeah, why not?
Like that movie Yes Man, and I love that. Just positivity. I totally get you though on like mixing it up, because you never know what sounds good until you actually make it.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Any last words you guys like to talk about? Your music, your favorite song on your EP and Figurine?
Oh,
Personally? You both have
Favorite
one.
song. He likes, okay, we'll say what it is for each of it. Like, I like Oasis on his record.
Ooh.
Oasis is my favorite.
Which is number 6 on the 7 EP, by the way.
And I think my favorite of yours might be Flooded at the moment.
Which is number 10, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really spacey, kind of reminds me of like a 90s air type thing or something, but it's kind of Portisheady and just your own thing. But I don't know. I like the bell at the end too.
Can't wait to listen to it. Heck yeah. Well, thank you guys for letting me interview you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Heck yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hey, I'm Charlie Moses.
I'm Mersky.
Thanks for watching KCSC Radio. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You are watching KCSC Radio.
Check out Figurine, my new Charlie Moses album on charliemoses.bandcamp.com.
And subscribe below.